Hello YouTube, YouTube here with part 2 of my Alex Kidd playthrough. Now we're just about to finish off the island of, say, Nurari level. We're just about to chat to this old dude. Blah blah blah, Alex, you are a prince from the country of Axion. Is that like a washing powder? Who was kidnapped by evil men when they were but a small boy. Or when you were, not when they were. Your native land is now being grossly misgoverned by the tyrant Jankin the Great. That's just a superb name. Your mission is to save the populace from him. My mission? Why did it become my mission? Oy. But at least he gives me a free helicopter. Or an angry little pettycopter. I quite like the pettycopter though because you can fire. And also it acts as an extra hit. Generally Alex dies in one hit. And there's quite a bit of money too. If you do take a hit in the helicopter, you fall down into the underwater and you got a swimming level, which I think it just shows you how much diversity there is in the game. If you compare it to kind of its peers, you got multi-way scroll and different vehicles, lots of power-ups, multi-plane action. You know, you fall down here, you go into a different type of level. You got different ways to play the game because you can use different items to get through different sections of the game. You know, it's nice and colourful, well presented. Like even the title screen, I was joking about in part 1, one of the kind of cutouts in the title screen, but instead of just having a static logo with press start, you know, there's dynamic action. It's really well put together, and I think if this had been on the NES, not necessarily by Nintendo, just by anyone, where it would have received a wider audience, it'd be heralded as a classic, and there'd be lots of retrospectives about it and whatnot. There we go at the end of the level. I'll just go back this way. I tend to be careful about the red blocks in this level because if you touch them with with the propellers of your helicopter or the blades, you'll fall down into the water level. So actually, now it's the village of Nami, or whatever it's called. The village of Nami. Oh, the village of Nama. That could be what Ireland's coming to. Please buy the things you like. I'll have some A, please. He doesn't sell E. I'll have a little Alex. He sells lives. And apparently a helicopter is only £200. Like, wow. If a helicopter is only £200, I would so buy one. That'd be a great way to go to work. Especially if it comes armed with missiles. Get out of my way! You don't have to get the helicopter here, but I think it... You know, I like being in the helicopter. It gives you a bit of a ranged weapon and you can get some more of the money, so it pretty much pays for itself anyway. But I remember the first time I would have been getting through these levels, I wouldn't have necessarily even had enough money. So I would have the choice, ooh, do I want to buy the extra life, or do I want to go to helicopter, or what? And especially when I found out that you can continue in the game. It's sort of a cheat, but when you die, if you have £400 and you hold up and press 2, it's either like 6 or 8 times or something, you continue. But you have to have £400, and so it costs money. So essentially, you won't necessarily, like, I mean, would it be worth spending 500 on a life when you could have multiple lives for continue? And this is another preset block, so there's a life in here. Always. And those bouncing red guys, they are from Teddy Boy. And the frogs are actually from My Hero, so Sega were very nicely reusing their sprite catalogue in this game. Common practice back then. I suppose people still say it's common practice today. And we're getting close to another boss, but this time it's not a janking match. It's an angry bull. I find it best to use the ring against this guy because he charges at you, and each time you hit him, he charges faster than before. And by the end, if you're trying to punch him, he's charging fairly fast and it's pretty difficult, but with the power bracelet, like, he can barely get on screen. And then this randomer pops up Prince Alex of Axion, you are looking very well indeed. We hear that your elder brother is imprisoned in the Axion, in quotes, castle, and you are the only person who can come to his rescue. Again, you determined that I, this kid, am the only person? How about you? Why don't you do it? You don't even give me a helicopter. Gah. Settle down, Alex. Eat your rice ball and get back to it. I always find it very noticeable when I come onto the Mount Cave level, because the colour palette distinctly changes from the kind of greeny blue to this very strong red. So it's kind of like it's a massive flash of red on the screen just before the level loads. It's like you know you're heading into a volcano. And this is where you actually you face the second henchman in this level. This question block is part of the sequence, so it's a power ring. There's actually quite a few question blocks in this level. So many that I will actually get 2 power bracelets. But it's good because I need them. You need one to get through this level, and I find it good to use the power bracelet on the bull in the last level. Now the ball down in the pit below there, that's actually called a telepathy ball, and it lets you see what your opponent is thinking in the janking matches. If you were just to try and fall down there now, though, you fall into the lava and die. What you have to do is punch this jitter block. For some bizarre reason, that opens up the wall. And then when you walk to the edge, an exit appears. Before you know the pattern, the telepathy ball is pretty much required to complete the game, because I've often gotten to the janking matches with multiple lives and just lost them all. It felt like pot luck, and it's one of the criticisms against the game. Oh, you know, the janking, it's very random, and that's true, but it does give it a somewhat different, you know, edge. And with the telepathy ball, you can sort of, you know, use some skill. But this section here, I find where you've got the lava pit and you got the flame rotating, it best to use the power bracelet to clear away all the blocks from a distance. Because it'll just continue pretty much in a straight line. Well, can't quite reach the edge of the screen. I always find it very satisfying actually to do that. It takes a little bit to get used to Alex's jumping too. It's however long you hold the button down, he jumps basically a little more. So there's a lot of places where you have to learn to jump very softly, and it takes a bit of practice to get used to. You have to, I think, press this block or the pink star to get over here. And as you can see, there's 2 question mark blocks. With the power bracelet, I can just fire at the one furthest to the left of the screen, and that'll release the ghost. But I can just move like a couple of steps and the ghost will be gone. Ghost is gone, which makes this one alive. And for some reason it didn't play the life tune. Also gotta be somewhat careful you don't fall down, drop straight down there with the pink skull and release a ghost. And that the next power or question block is in our power bracelet, which replaces the one I'm currently using. Because you can't carry them through multiple levels, they're a 1 level deal. So time to face Scissors Head. And he pretty much does the exact same thing. All the henchmen keep saying the same thing. It gets very repetitive. Blah blah blah, I'm Scissors Head. Blah blah blah, you must choose either paper, scissors, or stone. Blah blah blah. At least this time now you can see I can actually see what he's thinking. Of course I know the pattern. It's scissors, paper, or the second henchman and then the third henchman, as I like to think of it. Darn it, I lose. You lose the car. For some reason, every so often I like to slide underneath the end of level food, I suppose, because it was a hamburger in the one I had as a kid. Now we're on the Blackwoods, I think it's called. What do I need? Okay, I have the power bracelet, A, and invincibility. So I'll get the flights. This is the cane of flight. Let you fly for a short while. And I don't know, do I want the motorbike or not? Will I not? Ooh. Let's go for it. Let's live dangerously. Typically when I get the motorbike in this level I die. Out of all the pits. It's a tricky enough level actually. Oh crap. And I've died in a really bad place. Oh no, it's okay. But if I was on the block further left, it would have been very awkward to get out of. You can actually make it through the full level on the bike, and I have done before. That was silly. I've done the hard work, because this is just near the end now. Oh, getting greedy, and I've put myself into trouble. Let's not go for that. So to defeat the bear, I typically use the A capsule. If you were on the motorbike, you'd have hit the blue bricks, and the bear will turn, so you have to be fairly fast about it. The A capsule brings out 8 Alexes, which is fairly handy. 8 mini little Alexes. I don't know how they got 8 Alexes into a capsule, but whatever. And finally we have the last vehicle of the game, the speedboat. It's also my least favourite. I don't know, feels awkward. I typically end up falling into the sea level almost every time I play this. And the sea level it seems much shorter than the speedboat level. I noticed that about the vehicle levels in general. Oh, there I go. Oh, at least I'm right at the end. I think I'm on the Binglow lowlands now. Not too sure if that name's right. But I'll probably leave it there for part 2, because we're just about to go into the level where we'll face Paperhead, the third henchman, so it's a good point to stop. And we'll join back and we'll do some shopping.